we are going to get started with game 3 momentarily. Series stands at 1 game apiece for those just joining. I think the two players are back seated and ready to rock. You can see our two major champions in the previous year. And who knows, we've got these big events coming up in July. Nobody would be surprised to see either of these two take down some more big events this year.
Well, let's point out that in all likelihood, they're not going to be competing against each other in the same division. Josh has been competing in the International Lexicon Collins, so I don't expect to see them face off. But would it surprise you if Josh won the Collins division at either of these tournaments? Would it surprise you if Jackson brought home either a back-to-back in the WIGPO Championship or took down the NASPA title? Zero. They are going to be favorites among the favorites in both tournaments.
As Josh opens with Yuga, not the best opening rack for him with that UY on his rack, and he corrects that issue immediately.
And keeps the E, which obviously was a goal here, to keep a flexible rack, a bingo-friendly rack.
Yeah, for sure. It is going to give Jackson 1 8-letter bingo, and I'm guessing you can see those letters arranging. I don't know what to liken it to. I feel like in the case of somebody like Jackson, it kind of reminds me of like Jackson and Josh both. When they arrange those letters on the rack in just the right form to play a 7 or 8-letter word, it reminds me of the Terminator, the liquid guy, reforming a little bit somehow, you know? Is that weird?
Well, no, I think superhero is a good, way to go here. If you on the graphic of this Ultimate Showdown, it's got a little lightning bolt there.
Yeah, that's true. So
they're kind of action figures in Scrabble, aren't they?
That
would be nice. That would be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, action figures.
I would. Who in the chat would buy the Josh Sokol action figure?
It would have to be a little bit taller than all the other action figures, right? It's going to have to be a taller action figure.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to go to scale.
I'd buy it. Maybe that's like a Kickstarter type project that needs to happen. But Josh left EIN after Yuga. Pretty appealing combination if you could draw some consonants. That's not how things have gone for him.
Nope. That double I, not what you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking at a play like iodine here, which is always an indictment of rough letters when you're making a play like this. It's always nice when you see your opponent having to make a play like that. I just wonder, at this level between these two, I don't feel like there would be that much emotion wrapped up in it. Like if Josh plays iodine for 14, Jackson isn't sort of pumping his fist internally like, yes, I got away with him not having something. I just feel like we mentioned it, Stefan. Both of these players have immense respect for each other and for their ability to play extremely well and also to come back from seemingly any deficit. As we see Josh playing Fave, I really like Jackson's play of Pup. It's a shame that Jackson's not going to have an S available to play Smartass.
Oh.
But he is going to be able to. Let me make sure I get the scores updated.
I think it's an even bigger shame that on his previous turn, he didn't have a couple of disconnected A's to play Apparatus.
That's true. Yeah, that would have been incredibly flashy.
Yeah.
But Jackson does have an obscure 7-letter word on his rack. So this is a bit of a word knowledge check. It's not normal. It's not the normal spelling of mattress, but MATRASS is a valid 7-letter word on his rack, but it's not the easiest to spot. Let's see if he comes up with it here. It goes down right here with Indulgers. Yeah. So pretty easy location to spot it. Plays in a couple other locations as well alongside the Eye of Iodine. But really, this is just do you know this word? And can you find it? And it looks like the answer is yes. He slow rolled us, Stefan. He had never set this up on his rack. Great job by Jackson to get this down. And he's okay, he's just
debating on
repositioning it
positioning.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wondering if maybe he's having some doubts about this.
Yeah.
Looks like he does commit it. So there you go. Up to 167. I don't think I saw any reaction from Josh there, Stefan.
No, I'm
So
not surprised.
we see Josh play a play that I certainly like of Sweet, scoring well, taking that triple away from Jackson, where I'm pretty sure he would have scored something nice there. Jackson playing Jute. I wonder if he missed Jual through here. It would have scored 7 more points. That being said, there is a huge defensive element to this play, not letting the E of Fave stay open any longer than necessary. With Jackson holding that big lead, he may have wanted to play down there, even if he saw Jual, to block off triple triples from Josh, which would make a lot of sense. As for what he's going to play, it's tempting for him to play something like Irid right now, which would open another triple up and get rid of the 2 I's and undouble the R's as well and score decently. That seems like a decent play to make a threat that Jackson will have to deal with. And look at that. He plays Riot instead, Stefan. That's kind of
a big
surprising.
sacrifice in points. Look, the leave is a lot better, but 22 points versus what? 4?
Yeah, it's a very rare face value play. Literally no bonus squares involved with this play. 4 points for Riot. But yeah, Josh has drawn a 7-letter bingo on his rack. A radio. It feels like it's going to be Jackson would normally try to block something in this area of the board, but I'm not sure what play he's going to choose. If he plays his best scoring play of Homie right here, that's a little bit risky to do at this score, but man, it scores a lot. 48 points. Tough to turn that down. The only downside is if you're worried that Josh might have something, which I have to say is a major concern after Riot. You have to assume, like maybe from Jackson's POV, he could assume Josh would have something like RIO blank or something to play that. I don't know. Like it's tough you have to assume some strength. But now Jackson has, instead of Homie, he set up his tiles into what I think he may play, which is Formal through this M. Very nice idea, but even that's going to yield the bingo back to Josh. Another idea, if it's probably a little tougher to triple through an F. If he wants to play From, that scores pretty well, not 48, but 38, and it leaves the Y to help you balance your leave a little better. But I definitely prefer this play for Jackson. Scoring 30 points, opening nothing at all. That's super dangerous to Josh. Keeping HM, which is a really nice scoring combination for next turn. But we're going to see Josh play his bingo here very fast. I guess my only question is
play it on the top?
He could play it there. Yeah, maybe he should play it there.
Putting the D on the triple letter score.
He's going to play it down low. I'm surprised. I feel like playing it on top at this score is well worth it to just put extra pressure. But that being said, if he had done that, you can see that Jackson has O's that he would easily be able to overlap. Yeah, Josh playing the less aggressive one. I am kind of surprised by that.
I'm a little surprised too. And yeah, what was the difference in points here, Will?
Only a few. I think it's less. So Josh scoring 75 points for that. It's 4 more points on top. So it's not a huge gain. I just love it for the aggressiveness and to really put maximum pressure on Jackson. If he doesn't have an O, which we see he did, he would really be in a bind a lot of the time to address the spot. So in any case, Jackson does have an O, and in fact, he hits a very, very high scoring counter of Mozo for 54, which really negates a lot of the gain from Josh's bingo there.
Josh drew the Q.
Not what he wants to see. I guess it's worth mentioning that both blanks are still hiding. Neither of those have come out to play yet. it'll be curious to see when that happens. And wow, Jackson drawing pretty nicely and very fast. He puts his tiles in order
Oh
of
yeah.
leg because that's going to play right here. And it's very hard to see Josh doing anything to address that. In fact, I think it's likelier he's going to dump his cue off and keep his other good 6 letters and try to bingo through the open lanes on the board. And then Gleg's coming down for a boatload, Stefan.
And that's a flashing red light when Mozo comes down and you see that ZA sitting on top of a double word score. You're just immediately frantically scrambling, trying to figure out how can I capitalize on that spot and how can I do it in the most effective way. And you're right, Will, of course.
Yeah, the leave is good. The T meshes pretty well with these letters. There's definitely stuff you can get. Tailbone, I think atonable is a word. There's definitely plenty of stuff, and there he will be able to bingo. So atonable through the T, abalone, as you suggest. So we will be seeing Josh bingo. Let me just quickly get in this play of Gleg, 49 more points. So a 2-turn sequence of Mozo and Gleg that nets Jackson over 100 points.
Wow.
Really, really not what Josh is needing to see to get this comeback really in gear here. But still,
instant bingo.
Where are the blanks? Haven't seen them yet.
Nope.
I feel like now is the time that Josh needs to draw one of those blanks, bingo, and then the other, and then we got a game on our hands.
And the bag looks really good from bingo perspectives.
It does.
There are a lot of very powerful bingo tiles left in this bag. I mean, you could argue that there's very little that isn't bingoable or bingo friendly. That's a great bag. If you're Josh sitting at that, looking at that, you're not completely discouraged.
It's like VXK. That's about it.
Yeah.
In that bag that you're worried about. Everything else, I guess the eyes would alarm you a little just because there's 4 of them. But if you could just draw the 1 along with all that other stuff, you are in really good shape. Josh hasn't drawn one, but he's drawn good bingo tiles here. To my eye, I don't see anything that he can play yet, which is a tough break for him. He really would have needed to get one ASAP, but maybe there's still a chance. Question of, is Jackson going to put an S onto atonable? Tempting. It's so tempting looking. He would score so many points, but definitely not. There's no world where he is going to put an S on there. It's tough to think what he is going to play. I guess something like Chew has some benefits of scoring well and obstructing this E, which is definitely one of the bigger threats on the board.
I mean, there aren't a lot of gigantic threats on the board, are there, Will? Maybe coming through the E and indulgers with a couple of consonants next to the U and the A coming down. Otherwise, the E at the bottom of intonable looks like your most likely bingo lane here. This is not a super bingo friendly board suddenly.
I totally agree. There's not a lot of space. It may eventually involve some kind of a setup play on Josh's part. I don't know where, to create a little bit more space. Maybe a play through this Y somehow that scores decently well and opens up something new. But you're absolutely right that just the geometry of this board makes it kind of difficult to imagine where would 2 bingos even go if you're Josh. So things are looking good for Jackson. It looks like he is getting ready to play Chew, which takes out, to my eye, one of the more flexible, maybe the most flexible lane on the board. So there we go. There is the play of Chew, keeping that 1 vowel. The best leave. It is not the puns. God. It isn't the best leave, but in a way it is the best leave, right, Stefan?
Sure. Especially when you pull blank EI to go with it.
That looks pretty good. So things are looking up for Jackson in this game. That draw is pretty much, to me, close to an icer. I
Yeah.
actually don't know if he has.
I mean,
Does he even have anything playable? It's almost doesn't matter. It's as long as that blank isn't on Josh's rack. Jackson's
right.
definitely breathing a sigh of relief here.
Yeah. And it really, all that matters here, Will, it's important to remember is that they're besties and they want to just have a good match.
That's
It's not
true.
about winning and losing. It's about the friends we make along the way.
Yeah, best friends. So yeah, besties. That would be cool to see go down in this matchup in particular. I'm rooting for it to somehow happen. Oh, look at what Jackson has lined up too. He's getting ready for this to be an H.
Yeasty.
That's what he's eyeing here. What a stylish play that's going to be.
Oh, gorgeous.
I wonder if there even is anything better than that available here or anything at all. If we just quickly take a look on this current board, yeah, okay, there is beasties as well through this A. So 2 playable bingos on the current board right now before Josh's play for Jackson. Only 2 beasties and beastie through to that E. We'll see which of those 2 remains open. As we see, neuter is played there by Josh. That's a nice idea. You got to score some points, and also neuter blocking beasties, which leaves Jackson with only one option to bingo. And we know, obviously, we've seen him spell it out on his rack previously that he would see it. This is literally the only bingo, and I think this is a pretty high degree of difficulty find, Stefan.
Absolutely. Making the blank an H, ending your 7 letters in an I to hook onto another vowel, the B and the H next to each other. This is gorgeous. Yeah, that's a beautiful find. And again, this goes back to just pure power word knowledge and pure studying the 8-letter words over and over and over again.
Josh, who makes a beautiful play of Onyx, by the
Yeah,
way, to open the
gorgeous.
board
Yep.
up a little more. That's
And
tremendous play.
score a ton of points.
Scoring very well. And now he has centavos through that O, which I don't think there's any way Jackson lets this O stay open. I'm just looking if there are any triple triples here. There's only one tile in the bag, and Jackson is going to quickly see that if a T is in the bag, which it is, Josh will have a bingo through this O, so he's going to block it. And very, very fast, he plays Aikido. Very nice.
Nice.
Spotted quickly, wasting no time, just
moving
getting to
a
the
lot
end
of
of this game.
tiles. Yep,
Yeah.
moving a lot of tiles to speed this up.
Nice also that Jackson had 3 eyes, and you can shed 2 and set yourself up with really good end game timing with 3 tiles that are going to go out in a number of places. So well done to Jackson. Well done to Josh. We see Caves played by Josh at the end of this game, just getting rid of the C and V, which was his top objective in the end game, and then Jackson with his top play of hit.
Yeah, Jackson just ending the game. He could have scored. He could have scored a lot more points, and in a tournament game, I think he might have and let it go one more turn.
In any case, another win for Jackson. So Josh opening things up with a win to start, and Jackson responding with, oh, wait, that's not true. It was, right? No. Josh won off of the Fire Blow game, and now Jackson responded with 2 wins in a row to take the series lead at 2-1.